In this video, I'll be sharing my brand new budget tracker and how to use it. If you want to download a copy of this for yourself, then click the link in the description. The step-by-step instructions are also included in the first tab of this spreadsheet, so you don't need to watch this whole video. Click the link in the description to get access to the spreadsheet. This is very simple, easy to use, and allows you to easily keep track of your income and expenses. You can cover certain time periods as well. So currently it's set to the last 3 months, but if you click the drop down, you can look at it over a certain period. So if I just wanted to look at the last month, I can select that and all the information will automatically refresh. You can also drill down expenses by category. So in this case, you can see I've got groceries. But if I wanted to look at something else such as rent, I can select that and it will show me the breakdown of that as well. As you can see, for the purpose of this video, I've only got 2 months worth of data, but obviously as you build, you will have more information. And if you scroll further down, you can see the income by month, the expenses by month, and the savings by month. And then if we go further down, you can see a further breakdown of the expenses by category and the monthly average in each of these expense areas, and the same for the income side as well. So a breakdown of your income as a percentage and also the monthly average of this income that you receive. And in the next tab, in the historical comparisons, you can see how you've performed against previous months. So you can see in January our income was $2,150, whereas in December we can see that the income has increased, and this is shown in this great chart format. There's also further information when you scroll down, so a bit more of a breakdown in the expenses area and also the income area and also the savings as well. And again at the bottom there are more instructions as well. So again, you don't need to watch this whole video, you can just follow the instructions in the spreadsheet. They are quite easy to follow. And then in the third tab we've got comparison to budget targets. This is where you can compare your expenses to your budget targets, and also the same for your income as well. Again, some more instructions on how to use this tab found at the bottom. I will now explain how to use this spreadsheet from scratch. The first thing that you want to do is go into the category setup tab. All you need to do in this tab is fill in the cells that are highlighted in yellow, but as you can see, a lot of the information is already inputted for you, so it's up to you if you want to add any more information. But this is basically your expense categories. This is where you will allocate your expenses to. So I do have 25 categories already, and this may be enough for you, but if you feel like you want to add some, you can do so. So for example, I've got telecom, I've got internet, TV and phone all under telecom, but if you wanted to split it out further, you can just input it separately. So you can put internet, you can put TV and then phone. Just like that, it's very simple, and then this will automatically populate in the expense section. And if you scroll further down, I've got income categories. Again, you can add more if you want, but I do believe I've got a lot of it covered. So you've got obviously your main job, any dividend income, any savings income, and any expense reimbursements you may have. So if you do feel like you want to add more categories, you can do so as well, similarly to how we did before, just by inputting the information in these cells highlighted in yellow. So that's very simple and easy to do, and you may not even need to do anything, because as I said, the majority of the categories which I feel like you will need are already in this table. And then the next thing you want to do is go onto the expenses tab. So as you can see, I've already got some sample data populated, but all you need to do is fill in all of these columns. And if you wanted to add anything in the notes column, you can do so as well, just for your own information. And at the top there is an example data as well, so you can always follow this if you're unsure, but I will just show you a quick live example. So in terms of the date, you need to make sure it's in this format, but you can just double click on the cell and it will automatically bring up a calendar. So you can select the date automatically just by clicking on the date. So let's just say I want to add something on the 6th of February. And then here we've got the store vendor that your expense is going to. So for example, I've got Asda in the previous line, which is the US equivalent of Walmart, which is basically just sort of like a supermarket. So you can just put supermarket, and then in the next column you put the amount. So let's say I spent $80. In the next column you've got the category. So this is from the category setup tab. So all of this information is from there. So you can select any of these expenses. So let's just say we spent $80 again on groceries, and if you did want to add any notes, you can do so here. So if you wanted to input an income, you go into the next tab and you can populate that here. So as you can see, I've already got some sample data, and again at the top we've already got sample data here as well for you to follow in case you're unsure, but I will quickly show you a example. So in the date, let's just say we wanted to add 7th of February. Let's say we've got income from our company. Let's just say it's $100, and let's just say it's from our job, but it's just a bonus. So we can add a note here just to say that it's a bonus for working hard during the previous month. And then in the final tab, you've got the budget targets. This is where you set your budget target, and you only need to fill in the cells that are highlighted in yellow. So for example, in the first line, you can see for car maintenance, we've got a budget of a monthly spend of $100, and then the implied annual spend is automatically calculated at $1,200. And we can see our actual spending from all the calculations it's done from the data that we've inputted. We can see that the monthly average is $250, and I've only got 2 months of data, so we can see the total, but obviously this will change as and when you input more information. So once you've got 3 or 4 months, it will show all of that as well. So obviously you can see the monthly average is 250, and the total amount is 500, which makes sense. And if we scroll further down, I've also inputted some budget targets here as well. So this is everything for expenses. And again, if you go further down, you can see for income. So I've got a job target of $2,000. So that's my target that I'm expecting to receive every month. And as you can see, I've achieved that target as well. So all of this information is useful to look in this last tab here. So in this tab, we can see the actuals versus budget, and you can actually compare different periods as well. So if you double click, you can select a different time period, but I've got the 2 months that I've inputted. So this is showing 2 months worth of data. But if you wanted to, you can just select up to the 31st of December and it will only show 1 month, as you can see. But if I go back to 2 months, you can see all the information that I have. So just looking at the first line, you can see the car maintenance. This is our actual expenses, and this was the budget target that we inputted in the last tab. So we can see we've actually spent $500, and our target was to spend $200. And the variance to budget is shown here. So we can see we are $300 adverse. So anything in red is adverse. And then we can see that as a percentage as well. So we can see we've gone over 250% above our budget target. And if it is a cost saving, it will be highlighted in green, which will show a favorable variance. So we can see our actual expenses for electronics was $100, but our budget target for electronics was $1,000. And we can see that we only spent $100, so that was a saving of $900, which in percentage terms is a 10% saving. And you can see similar information is inputted here. So in your case, you may have additional payments such as car payment, childcare, clothing. You may want to include other stuff as well. So I've just included this for illustration purposes for the purpose of this video. So I haven't filled in all of these lines. So this was expenses, and if we scroll further down, we can see the income as well. So in terms of our job, our income for the last 2 months was $4,000, but the target was also $4,000 as well, which means that we've met the target. And in terms of dividend income, our target was to receive $1,000 for the 2 months, but our actual income was only $600. So that's why we've missed the target by $400, and that's why it's highlighted in red, because it's adverse. And similarly, we've got a side hustle here, where our actual income was 75, but we weren't projecting anything. So in the budget we had it as nil. We weren't expecting to make any income, so that's why it's shown as favorable in this column here. And as you can see from the bottom, you can see the total expenses, and again you can see the total income as well. So overall we were shy of our income by $325. So that was our expected income from our budgets. And further down we've got a summary as well, so income, expenses, and implied total savings as well. So you can see your savings rate as well, how much of your net amount have you actually saved from your income. And again at the bottom you do have an instruction tab. So I haven't gone into too much detail in this video because I do feel that the spreadsheet has sufficient information. There is, as I mentioned, an instruction section at the beginning which you can follow step by step, and it's very easy to use, and obviously you can input your own data. So yeah, that was just a quick video on how to use this spreadsheet. If you did want to use this spreadsheet for yourself, then click the link in the description. Do let me know what you think of the spreadsheet, and if you do have any questions, do let me know in the comments below. And if you are still here, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel.